Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins, and welcome to our daddy-daughter discussions. This is my daughter Patrice, who blogs by the name Naturally Treese. How you doing today, Patrice?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well, really well. Now, everybody, in case you don't know, Patrice and I get together regularly to do what we call daddy-daughter discussions, and these are conversations between a father and a daughter where we just talk about all the stuff that we see in the world from our own perspective in a way that hopefully facilitates communication between fathers and daughters everywhere, and we keep it 100% totally,
Yep.
completely real. So be prepared to be offended by at least two things that Patrice probably says, and at least one and a half things that I say, because I think that she takes it up to that next level. So
I don't
anyway, I want to
care.
ask you about this, Patrice. I want to know. Did you read that story about Marie Holmes, the lady that won 188 million?
Yes.
Yeah, she keeps on bailing out this boyfriend. Her boyfriend Lamarr Andre McDow, she bailed him out in November for heroin trafficking for about 3 million. Then she bailed him out in July on a gun and weed charge for about 6 million, and then she bailed him out a third time recently. But they said there was only about 10,000, so maybe it was just like a small kind of charge. So she keeps bailing this guy out. So a lot of people are saying, "What's wrong with you? Like what's going on?" What did you think about this when you saw it?
I thought she's got the money, so that's why she's doing it. I feel like if she didn't have that money, he wouldn't keep doing stupid stuff.
Hmm.
But in the same breath, she got money, so why you keep doing stupid stuff? I mean, once you got money, like there's never really a reason to sell drugs or anything like that. But at the same time, if your girlfriend just won 100 million, if your girlfriend won $10 million, you are okay for the rest of your life as long as you with her. So why keep on having her baby out of jail? Just quit doing stupid stuff.
Well, what I would say is that money's a drug, love is a drug, and then it seems like he was already into drugs. So it sounds to me like their head is kind of messed up. Like they're both dealing with these drug situations. She's addicted to this relationship apparently to the point that she seems willing to do whatever it takes. To pay off whatever situation that he's in, and it's sad because she's going to be paying lawyers for a real long time. I mean, it sounds like he's facing like some serious charges. I mean, if they have a bail of $6 million to pay, they don't give you a bail that high unless you've done something real serious. I don't. I mean, people, the Jeffrey Dahmers of the world. That's the kind of bail they go. Actually, Jeffrey Dahmers don't even get bail, but like you have to really hurt somebody or do something real serious to get bail that high. So it sounds to me like he might actually be going to prison for a long time.
Bobby Schmurda, his bail is at $2 million, and he's facing 25 years.
Yeah, Bobby Shmurda, the rapper, who was rapping about guns last year and got caught on a gun charge, which I'm still
He's on
mad at.
crack since like the fifth grade.
Right, right, but that's the thing. It's intergenerational. His father was in prison, and so he's going to be part of the system. Statistics say that if your parents are in the system, there's a very good chance that something will happen where you'll end up in the system because you won't be able to get the guidance that you would get if you had two parents in the house. So the
Yep.
prison system has really messed up, a big chunk of the black community. And so, with this, situation, it's funny. I try to have empathy for what Marie's going through, but it almost sounds like she's got bad advice and she has so much money that she doesn't have to take good advice. Money, with
Mhm.
money being a drug. I mean, money really is a drug. Actually, I don't know if you know about this. There's a study at MIT that says money affects the same part of your brain as cocaine. So literally, money affects your brain similar to the way a drug does. So money can make you cocky, can make you think that you don't have to listen to anybody, like you can solve any problem by throwing money at it. And I'm not getting the sense that I doubt that they're taking this money and really doing anything major with it. I mean, I really wish. I mean, I just think about what I would do with that money. I could probably build 50 schools, and start 1,000 businesses in the black community with this money. But it's unfortunate because when you're not trained what to do with the power of money, you just end up doing a Floyd Mayweather and just throwing it away, giving it right back to white people. And you know what else I'm seeing here? I think those people in that town are taking advantage of them. The lawyers, the court system, all of them. They're like, oh, we'll put $6 million in bail on him, and she'll come right down and pay it. So all this money she just won from the lottery is being transferred right back to the same racist white people that want to see her man in jail. You know?
Yeah. Well, sometimes I think that like if people hit the lottery or something, like I feel like if I hit the lottery, somebody's gonna call me and ask me to bail them out. And if you don't, people make it seem like you've changed or you're not a good person or you don't care about other people. And I think that Marie, she cares too much about what other people think. And I think she's addicted to love, but if she didn't bail her boyfriend out, then I think she's probably wondering how would that look? Knowing that I have the money, how would it look if I didn't bail him out? So let stupid ass stay in jail. He needs to stop going.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that there is a point where people have to take responsibility for their own decisions. And I also know that if I were to win the lottery, the first thing I would do is get my phone numbers changed and
And
not
move.
just I would probably I'd probably move and I would just go into hiding for a while. I mean, and I would get people. I would build a team of people around me to protect me from people who were trying to get access to the money because the vultures would just be huge. I mean, even just doing what I do right now, every day I get at least 30 people that are asking for something from me. Whether it's something financial, something in terms of support or help for something with their career, or help with a problem, or help with whatever. And it gets real draining. It's really hard. It's like people eat little pieces of you, and if you're not careful, you don't protect that, they'll eat everything, and there's nothing left for you, or nothing left for the people that you care about. So I don't understand this. I mean, maybe, but then again, though, she does make this point, and I want to ask you about this. She says, "Look, it's her business. What she does with her money. That people need to worry about their own money, and stop judging her for her decisions." What do you think about that?
I don't care whose business it is. You took your ass on TV to talk about winning this money. And to me, once you go on television or once you make yourself famous on the internet or once you make yourself famous anywhere, no, you're going to get criticized. That's just like when me and you do this stuff and I read through the comments and people say mean and rude things about the way that I look or whatever. And I'm just like, well, I signed up for this. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you got to deal with it, whether it's our business or not. I'm still gonna talk about it.
Well, I think it's a good point. And you and I've talked about this because I know that when you first started doing stuff, the comments would come in, and there are people who just really seem to make a living off of being nasty on the internet. They just like saying whatever nasty thing they can say, and even if it's not true. And those people are there. They have a right to say what they're going to say, and I learned how to deal with that. I honestly don't read most of the comments, or if I see one that's like super negative, if I feel up to responding, I might, but most of the time I just don't. I just look at the overall averages, like the tone. Like, so if I have a majority of people saying negative things, then I'll pay attention to that. But if it's just like one troll kind of getting nasty or whatever, I'm just like, that's just one person. And what's also funny too is that the nastier people are, a lot of times it has nothing to do with you. It's because of how they feel inside. They're going through something. They're not happy with themselves or happy with their lives or whatever. So you're feeling that backlash. Because I notice even with myself, when I'm in a bad mood or really having a bad day or things are not going well in my life, I tend to just be more critical. Like you need to clean up. Like, why you ain't done no work today? Get up. You know what I mean? Like I just get nasty, and if I can do that, then I know anybody can. So it doesn't affect me. But so okay. So what would you say if you and Maria are about the same age? She's a little younger than you. Actually, I think she's what 23, 20. Yeah, she's young.
Really?
Yeah,
She looks older.
no, I don't think she's old. I think she's got some kids, but I don't know how many kids she got. How many? You know how many?
Four.
Four. Okay, so she's been working, putting in the work. So what would you say to her if you were just talking to her, girlfriend to girlfriend, and giving her advice?
Um, if she asked me for my advice, I would tell her she don't need to keep bailing him out. I mean, I don't feel like I need to really go into detail. I feel like that's pretty straight to the point. You don't need to keep bailing him out.
But what if she says she loves him, and that's let's say it's the father of her kids. I don't know if she is the father.
Well, I am a person who has always believed that you don't ask me for advice and then say but this and but that. If you want my advice, then take my advice and just go on about your business. Don't say what should I do, and if I say don't bail him out, you say but I love him. I'm like, okay, well if you have all the answers, then do what you want to do. Go bankrupt.
Well, you know what? I can look at this. So you gave the sisterly advice. I would give the fatherly advice. And what I would probably say to her is, number one, you need to get some good advisors in your life but because a lot of lottery winners actually end up going broke, because the same mentality that led you to run to the store to buy all those lottery tickets is the mentality that's going to lead you to give away all your money once you win it. It's the same mindset. Because a person who buy, first of all, lottery tickets are just a bad investment in general. But the people who tend to buy a lot of lottery tickets, they get more money. They just buy more and more lottery tickets, and they really think it's going to happen again or whatever. And so I would tell her to get some advice, some kind of control, where only a fraction of that money is even available to her. I would say, look, here's $3 million. You can act a fool with 3 million, but have that other 80. I think she got 88 million after taxes and all that stuff. So the other 85 million is going to be in a trust fund that even you can't access, except under certain conditions, and it's going to grow so that your children and your grandchildren and your great grandchildren will be beneficiaries of this money. Because the thing people don't understand is that when somebody throws away like $100 million or $80 million, you ain't just messing up your life. You're messing up the lives of people who are not even born yet. When an NBA player goes broke and your dumb ass done got $90 million in your career and you threw it all away, do you understand the implications of what you have just done? You've destroyed an economic empire. People have taken less money and turned that into billions, and you killed all of that. It's like having a seed for that's built to grow a sycamore tree. Like sycamores are big gigantic trees out in California. So you got a seed for a sycamore tree, and you just eat the seed. Like seriously, that's what you just did. You killed a whole damn tree because you weren't thinking ahead. You weren't thinking beyond yourself. So it's one thing if you want to mess your own life up, but don't mess up the lives of your children, your grandchildren, and your great grandchildren. So I would have her get advisors. I talk to her about love and relationships. Maybe help her figure out like why are you doing this? What's going on in this relationship? Like what is it about this situation that keeps you coming back to saving him? And I think that you can. There's one thing about to say about loyalty to somebody, but there's a point where loyalty has to have some kind of a limit. Where someone, if they're not loyal at all to themselves, how loyal, are you obligated to be to somebody who's not even loyal to themselves, and certainly not loyal to you?
Right.
So, all right. So it sounds like we kind of said it all. I mean, I don't hear anything else coming from you. So, all right. So maybe if she sees this, maybe she'll give us a call. All right.
Hopefully.
Well, I enjoyed talking to you, Patrice, as usual.
I enjoy talking to you too.
You,
And for all those fathers out there, tell your daughters, don't be bailing these idiots out of jail.
hmm.
If he's meant for jail, then let
Well, let me just
let
say
the
that.
Lord
Well, I
prosper.
will. I will. No, but on behalf of the brothers that get caught up in the system, not all of them are idiots, right?
No,
But
not all of them. But if you keep going back, that's a problem.
if you keep coming back, that means you definitely have something that has to change. And what I find is that for people, in our lives,
Wait,
like,
can I say one thing?
go ahead.
You remember when I did that article on Bobby Shmurda and L.A. Reid?
Hmm.
L.A. Reid said that they didn't have enough money to bail him out, which I do not believe that, not even in the slightest bit. I
Right.
think that L.A. Reid didn't bail him out because he knows that he's going to jail.
That's a
So why throw
possibility.
away $2 million when you know he's going to jail?
That's a possibility. I think that, and it wouldn't have cost him 2 million. You'd have to put up like 200,000, but still, But L.A. Reid is worth about 300 million, so he could come up with $200,000. So he had the money personally, but his company may not have given him the money. And I had a conversation with Damon Dash about that this week. He knew L.A. Reid pretty well, and he said that basically L.A. is not a boss at his company. They got these little record labels that look like they're run by black people, but really they're run by Japanese people, stuff like that, by the big companies like Sony and Universal. So Damon said, "Look, L.A. can't even make that decision. He's got to call a guy in London, who's got to call a guy in Japan." And he said, the guy in Japan ain't gonna give a fuck about Bobby Shmurda. That's exactly what he said. I'm quoting him word for word. So basically, Bobby Shmurda, the rapper in Harlem, in case anybody's wondering, or maybe he's not in Harlem, but he's in New York. He got arrested on a gun charge. But with Bobby Shmurda, what I felt bad about was L.A. Reid as a black man. When you see a talented young brother coming up and you want to sign him, maybe you can persuade him to shift the tone of his music. Like, I mean, because when people did the shmoney dance, they didn't do the shmoney dance because he was talking about guns and all that. They would have probably done the shmoney dance even if he was, whether he was talking about anything. Like I was telling you, like one of my new favorite rappers, Lady LaSure. I keep talking about it because I love what she's doing. She raps about stuff like brushing your teeth and what you wear. I mean, it doesn't have to be toxic. Hip hop does not have to kill people. That's the point. And the thing is, they killed his future. They almost killed him. They might end up killing him, and I just think that's unfortunate. I mean, I think older black
Wait,
men are supposed to be
who killed
mentors.
his future?
I think that his future was killed by the people that misled him, that did not mentor him when they had the chance. I think it's obviously, if his parents weren't there, that's an issue. But again, we have the systematic factors that keep the parents from really being there the way they should. But then, he blows up because he's hot on the street. I think if L.A. Reid really truly is trying to be an honorable black man, I think you can work with a guy like Bobby Shmurda and say you can still rap, but don't rap about murdering other people, because what's going to happen is you're going to attract what you put out. So if you're talking about rapping about killing and all this other stuff, eventually some real killers are going to show up at your concert, and it's not going to be pretty.
Well, see, the thing about Bobby Shmurda is he was arrested on a 15-person indictment,
Hmm.
and GS9 is like his little music group, but they're allegedly a gang too, and they supposedly killed a rival gang member. So I think having that much stuff on them, and then he's saying, "I done so crack since like the 5th grade. I'll shoot anybody." Blah blah blah. And then they got this idiot on Instagram videotaping while they're in the studio, and there's literally guns everywhere. I mean, what are they supposed to do? Like,
Well, well, that
in that case, I do think that he was misled, just like a lot of those other boys. But at the same time, it's just like, come on.
that's what I
Um,
mean. But that's what defines the world we live in terms of um, the way influences are shaped on young black men at an early age, to convince them. I truly believe that somebody had a stake in convincing black men to think that criminal behavior was cool, because they needed somebody to fill up the prisons, and that's how they make money. They make money from filling up the prisons. So I just think that, when you talk about the airwaves and you talk about, all this music that was put out encouraging black men to want to kill each other, it's very interesting that they couldn't get away with making music like that about Jewish people. Like, you can't put one song on the radio about killing a Jew, but you can put songs all day about killing a nigga, and that's the thing that tells you what kind of country we live in. Bobby Shmurda was built to be a victim from day one. Every statistical indicator known to man said, you could have looked at his stats from birth and predicted where he probably would have ended up. Not definitely. I mean, sometimes people get lucky, but when you're born with every odd stacked against you, your parent, your father's in prison and your mother's struggling, and you're in the hood and you're surrounded by gangs and guns and drugs. I mean, what you think's gonna happen? And there's no educational system, and there's no jobs. That ain't no accident. That's built on black male genocide. That's their decision to strategically try to eliminate the future of every black man in America.
like
You
the
know,
Freeway Ricky Ross movie.
yeah, yeah, the movie about Freeway Ricky Ross. Yeah, exactly. So, all right, Patrice, it looks like you have an itch on your back. I don't know if you. I'm gonna let you go, so you can go scratch your back. All right, Patrice. It was fun talking to you.
It was good talking to you too.
All right, everybody. This is my daughter Patrice. She blogs under the name Naturally Treese at naturallymoir.com. And me, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins at Your Black World, and this is our daddy-daughter discussion. So feel free to leave your comments, and maybe if you have a question or a comment or something you want us to talk about, feel free to leave that too, and maybe we can pick that up, and maybe that'll be our next topic. So until we meet again, stay strong, be blessed, and be educated. We are gone. Peace.